Yo, it's your boy Dev with Pass the Sticks, back at it again with another WWE 2K24 video. And this time, in anticipation of the game, I wanted to try and see if we could predict what matches will be in the showcase mode. So as you can see, I got 3 tabs opened. I got the WWE Games Twitter, I've got Wikipedia pulled up, and I've got the 2K Games website pulled up, which I now realize is kind of unnecessary. So we can kind of pop out of there. Yeah, so we can go through the cards, using the Wikipedia, and then I think that the WWE Games Twitter has the hint. So first things first, let's get some things out of the way. Some of the pictures that we saw in my previous video, where I kind of gave my first thoughts of, what we know about WWE 2K24, that's changed. So of course, as you know, a lot of things are going on with WWE in terms of controversy, and that has resulted in Brock Lesnar. No, he's not going to be in the game, and with his covers, John Cena is now like dominant. He takes over where Brock was. So obviously that's not a game feature or a showcase thing, but that is important to mention. So first things first, let's go. So I thought we should go through the obvious ones. So they said that the showcase is only going to have, was it 20 or 21 games? I'll correct myself in the editing, but yeah, so there's not going to be 40 matches to represent 40 WrestleManias or whatever. So that's important to mention. So I'm gonna try to pick the best of the best. You know what I mean? So the obvious ones: casket match. The only casket match we've had at WrestleMania was Undertaker versus Mark Henry, WrestleMania 22. Shit. And then the referee. So I had stated before, I think these are hints to what will be in the showcase mode, and then we also have like the skull, Stone Cold. So this is going to be Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. We've got an NWO shirt, and now that's kind of made me think. Now I think the only match that it really could be is Rock Hogan, but you could also do Austin and Scott Hall. But I also was thinking, what if they managed to finagle, and I know this is a big if, what if they managed to get Sting signed for to have Sting Triple H, which is not a great match, but hey, But I think this is most likely going to be Rock. I think I said this in the previous videos. It's probably going to be Rock Hogan at WrestleMania 18. Although they could also do Austin and Scott Hall. And then as far as their ladder match, we've said that it was going to be the first ladder match. Well, not the first ladder match, but the ladder match we know of, WrestleMania 10, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. So I believe those are all of the things they showed us. Oh yes, and then February 6th, we got a pretty big update that Muhammad Ali would be in the game. Now, I think I would hope that he's not just a random entry. I would think that means that we're going to get Hulk Hogan, Mr. T versus Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. Muhammad Ali was a referee or something. This is like the 80s, where there'd be 30 people sitting outside the ring and they all got a job. But I think that's a really cool entry to have Muhammad Ali in here. It's available on YouTube. He did make a few appearances in wrestling, between WCW and like the territory days, and then of course here at WrestleMania. So makes sense. So that's like the obvious ones, the ones that we know for sure. So up next, we're gonna go up and we're gonna just go through the WrestleManias and try to figure out those other ones. Let's see. So on to WrestleMania 2. We'll scroll down, and so the post stated that out of the matches that are going to be there, it's going to be, the matches will be representative of each era. So I don't think there's going to be a ton of you're going to get a bunch of 80s WrestleManias and then a bunch of 90s, that type of thing. I think they're going to cherry pick the classics. So WrestleMania 2 is an odd one where it's 3 different venues. I think the obvious one is going to be Hogan, King Kong Bundy in the steel cage. That was what was in the showcase. If we do see it, so I don't think they're going to put WrestleMania 2 in there, but if they do, the match would be Hogan, King Kong Bundy. It's like the obvious standout there. WrestleMania 3, same thing. It's going to be the Hogan match, Hogan Andre. Although you could definitely do Savage Steamboat. That's a good one. So yeah, we're probably going to... So, of the 80s ones, I think we're definitely going to get Hogan Andre. And then we already know we're probably most likely going to get that WrestleMania 1 tag match. On to WrestleMania 4. I don't think we're going to get Hogan Andre again. I think we're going to get Randy Savage, versus Ted DiBiase to win the WWF title for the first time. I think that makes the most sense. WrestleMania 4 is not a good pay-per-view. The 16 matches, because this was a tournament for the world title. So I don't think that... I think it's going to be the main event, WrestleMania 4. So, and then I think... not SummerSlam. I think if we get one more from the 80s, they're going to do WrestleMania 5, and then I think they would include Hogan versus Randy Savage. So for the 80s, I think they're going to do the tag match at WrestleMania 1 with Mr. T and Roddy Piper and them. I don't think they're going to do WrestleMania 2. WrestleMania 3, you got to do Hogan Andre. WrestleMania 4, I think they would include Randy Savage winning the world title for the first time, and then you gotta have the Mega Powers collide. You got to. So that's the 80s, and that was what? I'll put the count. I'm not gonna be able to remember that, but we'll put the count up later on. Now WrestleMania 6. So this is a new decade, and I mean, Ultimate Warrior is definitely representative of the early 90s WWF. I feel like, and then just with his involvement with like the Warrior program or whatever they got going on in WWE, or the Warrior Award, I feel like you have to have this match in there. The IC title versus WWF title match, title for title. We're definitely not getting Slaughter Hogan. I think we're probably not. I think it's safe to assume we don't get WrestleMania 7. Let's see, WrestleMania 8, Hogan versus Savage, or Savage versus Flair. I don't think we get that one, honestly. Maybe Brett versus Piper. I think that's more likely than Savage Flair, to be honest. But I don't think that we're gonna get WrestleMania 8 either. And then there's WrestleMania 9. It's a nice looking venue, kinda. So I'm doubtful that they'll do that. Maybe we get the two, main event matches, quote unquote. But I'm fairly certain we're probably not getting WrestleMania 9 in there. And then of course WrestleMania 10, we've already established we're gonna get the ladder match, Razor versus Shawn Michaels for the IC title. WrestleMania 11. Now the obvious pick, of course, is you should be, LT versus Bam Bam Bigelow, but they're gonna give us Diesel versus Shawn, right? Or I would even be excited for Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund. I would be thoroughly entertained if they put Bob Backlund in a game to play as. But we're probably gonna get Diesel versus Shawn Michaels. WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 12. Yeah, we got to do the Iron Man match. It's an obvious one. Both guys are still under the company. I do think we get the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12. I think we could probably do without WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 13. We've already gotten the referee picture, so we're gonna get Austin versus Hart with Ken Shamrock as the referee. WrestleMania 15. It's an obvious one. Now, I don't know if we're gonna get the light-skinned Mike Tyson back or whatever that guy was, but you gotta do Undertaker, or you gotta do Austin versus Shawn Michaels for the title. Although Undertaker Kane, I think they may be more likely to do that just so they don't have to have Mike Tyson there, or a terrible replacement for Mike Tyson. So we'll see. I think we actually may, now that I look at it, I think we may get Undertaker versus Kane, right? And Austin would go on to have more legendary title wins than that. WrestleMania 15. Now this, you're gonna have Austin versus Rock. this abysmal Hell in a Cell match. Not happening. This is an underrated match, Shawn Michaels versus X-Pac for the European title. That would be a fun one. But they would definitely, you got to do the main event. Start of the trilogy. WrestleMania 2000. Now this one, when it was announced that it was gonna be like only 20 matches, I was worried about this one because I feel like, I don't know, like how do you skip 2000? But like you look at the main event, Big Show's gone, so I mean it takes out the main event. You look at, you look at the triple threat match, which sounds like a really great match on paper. 2 of the 3 guys are no longer, or not associated with the company, is the best way I could put it, for different reasons. And then you can't even do the triangle ladder match because none of those guys work for the WWE. So it's like, are we gonna get like TNA versus Head Cheese, or I think we're probably gonna get 2000 skipped, and then like the shitty hardcore title match, confusing. WrestleMania X7, again, you got to do Rock Austin. Although like Triple H Undertaker was pretty good. And then other than that, what else could you really do? Once again, Big Show's gone. You know what I mean? Murder. You got to do that one. WrestleMania 18, we've already established should probably be Rock Hogan. Well, we've seen the NWA poster. NWO poster rather. I'm sorry. So maybe they could do Austin versus Scott Hall. Unlikely. Icon versus Icon. WrestleMania 19. Now this is another interesting one. Do you go the racist route and do Triple H and Booker T, or do you go like you can't do Hogan or McMahon now, right? Or do you go Rock Austin for 3 WrestleManias in a row, right? You can't do Undertaker Big Show. Trash. You know what I mean? I think the women probably have a better chance. This is probably the best chance they have of being in earlier years that they have of being in the showcase. You can't do Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. Damn, this is a bummer. This is like a beloved match card. So I'm thinking we probably get either Triple H and Flair, or Triple H and Booker T, or Austin Rock for a 3rd time. Now, let's see. WrestleMania 20. Well, can't do Cena Big Show, which was like kind of like signature part of that. You can't do. Well, I guess you could do that, but maybe Evolution versus the Rock and Sock Connection. That would be a fun one, although Flair's not there. I think probably the most likely one is Eddie versus Kurt Angle, even despite the fact what happens at the end of that show. Eddie's beloved. Kurt Angle's as a Legends deal with WWE, so I think that's probably the most likely match to be there on 20. Since you can't show Cena winning his first title. 21, you can show Cena winning his first world title, and I think we're probably going to get to this being the start of a new era. I think we get Cena and JBL, and then we maybe get Angle versus Shawn Michaels. I think that would be a great one, but I was going to say maybe Ray and Eddie, but we already got that in 22. So for this one, I'm going to go with the WWE title match as being like the one to represent it, but I think you could also do Undertaker Orton as well. This is not an Undertaker video. Damn, so this video devolved from me like trying to predict the 21 to me going through each one and picking what I, which they should be, which I think is okay. So bear with me, y'all. So I think so far 21 is probably the show with the most options. 22, they showed us the casket match. I think, if they include it in the showcase, then I think we can assume it's going to be Undertaker, Mark Henry. Or you could do Triple H, Cena as a decent match. Or no. They're gonna do the obvious one, Rey Mysterio winning his world title for the first time. I think that's the most obvious one. Although, damn, this is another one. This is another one where they got multiple options because this is a great Money in the Bank match. You get the hardcore match with Edge and Mick Foley, which was in the 2K24 showcase. And this is why they should have done multiple matches for each WrestleMania, or not necessarily each WrestleMania, but they could have done multiple matches, you know, depending on the show. Even Shawn Vince was pretty entertaining, I would say. Now, if you had to pick one match for the show, it's got to be Ray winning the world title, I'd say. WrestleMania 23, one of my personal favorite WrestleManias. I don't even know how to explain it, but like I just anticipated the build for this so much. I feel like you probably got to do Undertaker Batista. I think that's probably, in my opinion, the best match. Although I really enjoyed Cena, Shawn Michaels. We're well into the Cena era at this point, so kind of a double. I don't know. I think Undertaker Batista was the better feud, but you know, a main event win for Cena, I think makes a lot of sense to put that there. So I would rather see the World Heavyweight title match in there, but I think they're going to put the WWE title match in. WrestleMania 24. So we didn't really get any inkling that, you know, Mayweather would be in this, so we can exclude that, and obviously Big Show's not there. The most likely match to be here, I'm thinking, is going to be the triple threat: Randy Orton versus Cena versus Triple H. Now, I should have mentioned for 23, I think that like WrestleMania, well, really 22 with Mark Henry is really like the start of like the streak being like really emphasized for Undertaker. So I think 23, I don't know, maybe more likely to have. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that was English. I think with WrestleMania 23, I think there is a good chance the world title match will be there, but not this one. Not 24. 24, I think really the only one that you can do is that triple threat match. Or, well, shoot, Flair versus, if he's available, Flair, Shawn Michaels. But Flair's signed to AEW. I don't think that's happening. Onward to 25. That's a no-brainer. These are basically one-match shows anyway. You got to do Shawn Michaels versus Taker. Duh. Same for 26. 26 is not necessarily a one-match show, if I recall. Yeah, it was. For all intents and purposes, yeah, you got to do. So 2 in a row. I think we're gonna get both. We should get both Taker HBK matches, and then to 27. Now this wasn't even a one-match show. I think you have to do Cena versus Miz, just so that you can have Rock interfere, just so we can see the Rock interfere, and then that brings in, we'll bring in the next WrestleMania, which they definitely have to do Rock Cena for 28. Of course, you got to do Rock Cena for 28, and then I would argue maybe for 29 as well. But that's it for WrestleMania 29. With Punk back into the fold, I think there's a good argument there should be the Punk versus Taker as well. So those are my 2 picks. So I think just because of like last year we got the Cena showcase, I think maybe we get Taker versus Punk. But I don't know. We'll see. That would be my pick for 29. And to 30. So WrestleMania 30. Damn, I hadn't even thought about it. Daniel Bryan, I mix up the names. Daniel Bryan is no longer in the WWE, so what match do you do? Shoot. I think maybe Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Probably that's the only one you can really do. Yeah. I'm looking at the card like, damn, that's really disappointing. It has to be. I mean, if they do 30, it's got to be Cena versus Bray. And what's next? 31. Prior to the last few weeks, I would have said the main event was the obvious one, but no. So I think maybe Cena versus Rusev. If they can work it out, with Sting, maybe. I don't know. I feel like if any legend or non WWE signed person has a chance, I think it would be Sting. Today is February 7th, 2024. He just won the AEW Tag Team title, so I think we're pretty close to him being on the way out. But we'll see. I don't know. So yeah, I think only match you could really do is Cena versus Rusev, and then, you can on the cutscene they can touch on the Open Challenge, the U.S. Open Challenge. 32. I don't recall 32. Damn, this is depressing. So I think we will get our first for sure women's match. I think we're gonna get the triple threat: Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha. Or that wasn't a great match, but I think I think that would make sense as well. Undertaker versus Shane. But yeah, you gotta do the triple threat for the women. On to 33. Now, again, this is one of those things where it's like, which one do you do? I think they do AJ versus Shane McMahon. Or Roman versus Taker. Roman's win after that. He had that really good moment. The Raw after. So yeah, that's one you can do, even though it's a stinker of a match. And then AJ Styles versus Shane was a really good match as well. Or the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, which I don't remember, but memorable. I don't remember, but important, rather. Damn, there's really a few you could do now that I'm looking at it, because this was the culmination of Orton versus Bray. I think if of these matches, I think the best one probably like AJ and Shane, or Roman Taker. Gotta get your boy in more matches in the showcase, so I think it's probably more likely we get Roman Taker for that one. On to 34. Now the one I want to see is the triple threat opener for the IC title: Seth Rollins versus Miz versus Finn Balor. I remember at the time people were saying Seth was having like a non-canon run because he was very over as a face for once, and that was a fun run. Now that's the match I would like to see. The triple threat. I think more likely we get AJ versus Shinsuke, just because Shinsuke won the Rumble for that one. Oh, whoop. I don't even have anything so much to say. Or maybe we get the, damn, Ronda Rousey's gone. We're not even going to get that. I was going to say maybe we get the tag match. That was a really fun match. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, but Ronda Rousey's gone. So I think we probably get AJ versus Shinsuke. I think that's the most obvious one. And I would like to see the triple threat. WrestleMania 35, another one. This one I really don't remember the matches. It's a long card too. Pause. Wow. Damn, they really made a WrestleMania for this one, huh? So I think we get Triple H versus Batista. Because what are these matches? Like, you can't do. You got the opening match, a world title match with Brock in it, so we're not getting that. Random tag title match with you got Aleister Black and Cesaro, not happening. A women's tag title match with women, several women who are no longer in the company, not happening. Maybe we get we can't even get Kofi Mania because Daniel Bryan's gone. Man, y'all might have to cut the check. 2K, man. Just cut the check. So maybe we get the. I'm thinking maybe we get the women's title match, winner take all. Maybe. But probably just gonna be Triple H versus Batista. Right? I don't see them doing. I don't see them having that there twice. And if you got to pick between Cena's first title win and Batista's first title win at 21, I think they're gonna go with Cena. So I think we're gonna get Triple H Batista here because that's also Batista's retirement match. Or we could get, damn, I didn't even think about it. We could get, this was where Kurt Angle retired. So maybe that one as well. And then we're up to 36, and this is the pandemic ones. Right? Yes, these were the pandemic ones. So I think you got to do the. Well, I don't even know how you logistically how you would do that, but I think the Boneyard match is probably the best pick because I think what they were teasing at was Drew winning his first WWE title against Brock, but he's not there, and then he can't even do the dark match crap he did afterwards because Big Show's not there. Can't do this was actually a decent match, the last man standing with Edge and Orton. You can't do that. Edge's not there. So I think that we're going to get either KO versus Rollins or the Boneyard match, which I don't think that they're going to do that. So it's probably KO versus Rollins. Bummer. On to WrestleMania 37. Again, I watched this live and I don't remember the card precisely. So it'd be kind of sad, but maybe we get the WWE title, Bobby Lashley versus Drew. All right. So we haven't gotten any word about Bad Bunny being in this year's game, so I think maybe well, damn, John Morrison's not there, so we wasn't getting that anyway. Never mind. I'm looking at this card like, this kind of stinks. Yeah, so I'm thinking Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. Yeah, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka is probably the most likely one. Or maybe KO versus Sami Zayn. Since you got, since you have, there's three. Beyond, so damn, you can't even do. Damn, Sasha's gone. Ooh, so. If I had to pick one out of the ones I named, I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley winning her first title. But I don't know. We'll see. On to 38. So before, this would have been a no-brainer of what, who's going to be in this match, but things change. Got to do Austin versus Kevin Owens. Austin was in the ad, so obviously he's going to be in the game. I think that makes a lot of sense to have his return to the ring there. Yeah, that's it. I'm looking at maybe Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. That would be an entertaining one, but I think they're definitely going to do Austin versus KO. What other one are you gonna do? You can't, since you can't do Brock, right? WrestleMania 39. The last one, you got to do KO versus Roman, obviously, or Cody versus Roman. I think that's the no-brainer there. What other ones could you really do? Maybe both Bloodline storylines. So maybe we get KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos, and then we get Roman versus Cody, maybe. And then we're a few months away from WrestleMania 40, so we don't. Who knows what we're gonna get there? But that was it. The video kind of fell off the rails halfway through because I was trying to like figure it out. Like, I think this will be in there, but I was forgetting matches, bro. But if I missed anything, you know, we went through all the WrestleManias. But if I missed anything, let me know which matches you think should be in there. I appreciate it. It's your boy Young Dev. Pass the sticks. We out. Stay tuned for some more 2K24 content.